Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm Mandi Grace, author of 10 young adult novels so far. Welcome to whatever it is I'm calling this vlog. We are in the first week of the latest challenge that I'm hosting with my writing community. This one's called Get Grounded, and it's all about incorporating the 6 principles of groundedness in Brad Stulberg's book, The Principles of Groundedness, or The Practice of Groundedness, whatever it's called. Anyway, using those 6 principles of groundedness in a writing routine. So that's what's up. Week 1 is about movement. That's the week we're on. I'm 2 days in. It's been lovely. The idea basically is that we have a very integrated mind and body system. Our brains and our bodies influence each other a lot. And so movement, if that's like exercise, going for a walk, whatever, it really does help your brain to function. It helps with mental health and your general well-being. Moving your body is very important. But we're using that principle and applying it directly to writing this week. So this week is 6 days of moving your body to ground your mind right before a writing session. I've been doing some like stretching, yoga posing stuff the last 2 days, which has been really nice. Just a lot of like stretching my body and breathing deeply, and I've been so stiff. Yesterday was the first day that I did it, and oh my goodness, I could not stretch my body. I was so stiff. But today was better, and I'm hoping, by the end of this week, I might just have to keep stretching, forever. This is just a new habit that I'm doing, because my goodness, I could not move my body. But anyway, no, it was really good. Yesterday was actually a really, not a great day. When I got home from work, I was just tired and unmotivated and just kind of blah, But then I did do my stretching and moving my body in order to sit down to write, and then honestly my day just really started to look up. Moving my body, first of all, put me in a better mood, and then after being able to be in my story for a bit right after that also put me in a better mood. So I was able to face the rest of the day with a much more positive attitude, which was nice. I started today on a better starting point. I was not miserable when I got to the moving my body and then, being in my story. So that's nice. Being in my story this week is looking like reading. Back in December, I was reading through, November and December, I was reading through Cindy's book and trying to read through the whole first draft manuscript before I dive into edits. And I kind of stalled on that, and in January I did not do anything at all whatsoever. Not even once. So here we are in February. And the last 2 days I've been in my story. Yesterday I read through a chapter, and today I read through 2 chapters. And we're just gonna keep going. I think probably, maybe not this week, but by the end of the next 2 weeks I will have read through, if I, keep doing it every day, I will have read through the whole manuscript, and then I can actually make a plan for what edits will look like, how I'm reshaping the story, because there's a lot. Obviously I changed a lot in the initial rewrite experience, which took 2 years, but anyway, I did make changes and add things and that sort of thing, and the book is twice as big as the original one. But this new first draft hybrid thing is not a great book. It's kind of boring to open, and then also there's just other parts of it that are just slow or uninteresting or not focusing on what I want it to focus on. So there's going to be a lot of edits and rewrites in draft 2 thing, whatever it is. It's weird because the book was already written and edited and published years ago, and this is the same story but very different and with a lot more added to it. Anyway, it just feels weird in my head to say draft 2 because it's draft 15 or something technically, but that was 10 years ago. So, and it is a different book, and it is at least twice as big. There's a lot changed, and I'm gonna keep changing more because I'm not enjoying the read-through so far. I mean, today wasn't too bad, but in December, November, when I was reading through, I was very bored with the very beginning opening of the story, so there's a lot that he's changed, is the point. Anyway, yeah, that's my update, I guess. I'll keep checking in through the course of this week. I don't know if this is going to be a each week of Get Grounded vlog situation, or if I'm just going to vlog the whole thing, but it's 6 weeks long, so you won't see that video for a while if I do that. I don't know, man. We'll figure it out. You already know because it's posted on YouTube. Kitchen. Kitchen.
Transition to this next practice. Giant chronic. Focus on one block. Transitioning back onto attention. Now walk your hands down in front of your legs and gently walking forward. So if you have really open hips, you might come all the way down. If you have tight hips, your exhale, breathe your yourself down a little bit further towards the floor. Sweet spot. In your leg, you usually would put in front in your proper.
Excuse me.
Just going to take one more forward bend. Inhale.
Nuggets. Okay, I'm in the middle of reading my chapter for today, or however many chapters I end up reading. But I had to pull out the camera. You guys, I'm like, I don't know, 2 pages into this chapter. We've moved to Cassie's perspective. And this is the first chapter in Cassie's perspective, and oh my gosh, I love this scene. I forgot that I wrote this scene. It's not in the original book. It's a new scene that I added whenever I wrote this scene. Probably 2024. I don't know. Oh my goodness. She's making a bow. She's preparing to go back to Single State and save everyone. She's using a bow. She has supplies this time. In book 1, if you've read it, she doesn't have supplies, and so it's a terrible bow. It doesn't work out, but she has to just, like, use her hands. But now, you know, she's got a knife and she's got whatever. Anyway, that's not the point. That's not the point at all. The point... I forgot that I wrote this. Oh my word. She's making this bow and is making her think about her dad, and Colin is with her. He's helping her prepare. And he's being all sheepish and awkward. Like, he's interested in her work and he wants to know what she's doing and why she's doing the things that she's doing. He tries to compliment her and say, like, she's being really, like, meticulous and precise and whatever. Anyway, he says something like she could be, in his profession, she could be a doctor with those hands. And she's like, what is wrong with you? And then there's this bit, gosh, I love them so much. There's this bit, she's thinking about her dad and the way that he taught her to make a bow. And then she's just, like, lost in her memories, and she's crying. She doesn't realize she's crying. She's just, like, eyes closed, sitting there with the bow in her hands, crying. Just thinking about her dad. And And then he just like put his hand on her cheek and to try to wipe the tears away, and it was the sweetest thing ever. But she freaked out because it's Cassie, and she's just like, what is happening? Don't touch me. I'm not feeling emotions right now. Those aren't tears that you see. Anyway, oh gosh, I haven't even finished the scene, but I got to this point. So this is totally unedited, you guys. This is first draft, needs help, okay? Bear that in mind as I read this to you. I just love it so much. Okay. A gentle hand on my cheek makes my eyes fly wide open. Actually, it says make my eyes, but first draft, man. I'm fixing it for you. Anyway, a gentle hand on my cheek makes my eyes fly wide open and jerk away. That should say I jerk away. And I jerk away from Colin. His hand snaps back to his lap and he looks down, almost sheepish, before those gentle eyes find mine again. Sorry, you were crying. I didn't mean to startle you. My fingers fly to my cheeks, and I realize he's right. They are wet with tears. I bite my lip as my hands fall limply to my lap. Can I ask? Colin hesitates, watching me closely, looking unsure of himself, which is unlike him. What made you cry? It doesn't matter. Listen, this is where I was when I was like, I have to pull out the camera and talk about this. It matters to you. His voice is soft, like a warm hug, and I want to give in to the comfort I know he brings. But I can't. I love them so much, you guys. I can't odd either. I just... Anyway, and then she goes back inside to go packing, I guess. I don't know, I haven't read it, but that's what it says. Speaking of first draft, they're departing, and, this character Jane is supposed to say keep yourself safe, but what it says is keep yourself self. Listen. I can't help it. First drafts are just like that. I'm not gonna read aloud the entire chapter, I swear. But I just love them. I really enjoyed this part that I just read, so I pulled out the camera again. Okay, anyway, listen, they're out in nature, they're traveling, whatever. They've gone to bed. Camping style. Anyway, and Cassie is just like breathing in the smell of the pine needles and the moss and whatever. She's just like, nature. And relaxing, okay? And then Colin interrupts her introspection and is just like, what is it about the trees that relax you so deeply? What? I turn my head, but it's useless. I can't see Colin, although he's only a couple feet away. Because it's dark outside. Anyway. Okay. Since I've met you, most especially after your memories began to return, you've always been stiff and unyielding and defensive. But in nature, you soften. While I'm stiff now, no thanks to him. I love them. I can't explain what it is about that stupid interaction that I just love so much. I cross my arms, glaring into the darkness. If Colin wasn't here, I would enjoy this far more. Oh, what a great chapter that one is. Just so good. I would absolutely read more of Cassie's perspective. I would just sit and read the rest of it, but I have 30 minutes until Bible study, so I should go do other things. That was fantastic, though. I haven't enjoyed the read-through until today. It's Cindy! Oh my gosh, I have to fix Cindy's perspective. Oh no. Oh no. I have to fix this book so that Cindy is also an enjoyable character to read, because my goodness. I mean, Cassie can be the favorite perspective. You know, she was the first book, and if readers prefer her perspective, that's totally fine. Clearly I do as well. That's allowed. But I don't want everyone to be bored, miserable reading Cindy's book until they get to Cassie's perspective. I have so much work cut out for me. In other news, how is the movement part of the challenge going this week, you ask? So I've been keeping my notes in the workbook. It's just a tiny little section to like mark how you're doing before you move, after you move, writing progress, after writing, how are you feeling? And the system is like smiley faces, so like big smile, yes, I'm feeling grounded. The like just a line face is like sort of, I don't know. And then frowny face is like, nope, no grounding at all. I feel terrible. Anyway, So I started with a big frowny face, but we've had smiley faces most of the time since then. Anyway, not started today. I haven't started the challenge. Monday, I was not in a good mood. But since then, life has been great. Anyway, but I enjoy some of my, like, I do the smiley faces and then, like, also write something on most of them. And so, like, on Monday after moving, it's got a smiley face, because, like, I started with a frowny face. Before moving, frowny face. I says, I feel blah. Okay, but after, smiley face, and I say, wow, I was so stiff. And then, like, today after moving, I was like, I feel alert, but my thighs hurt. Anyway, I think the moving is very helpful. It definitely, like, gets my brain woken up, and I feel more alert and, like, willing and ready to do writing and also other household chores. It's definitely helpful. But also, not a but, and also, yeah, I really was so stiff on Monday, and I'm not great now, and so doing all of the stretching every day, I'm going to keep doing this. This is now my daily routine for the rest of the year, because my goodness, I have forgotten how to move my body. I'm in a really good mood right now, you guys. I can't explain it. The yoga stretching, and then being in my story, and it being back into Cassie's perspective, as it should be, and it just being a Cassie and Colin-centric chapter, and just the whole thing, I'm in a really good mood, and I wish I could write some more, but I really do need to do other things, because I have no time, and I have to go to Bible study. Man. That was a great chapter. Poorly written, mind you. Grammatical mistakes, wrong words used, just very little description at all whatsoever. It was not a well-written chapter, but it's peak storytelling. Okay. Movement yesterday made me feel invincible. Movement today made all of my muscles hurt. But I read 2 chapters. I love Cassie and Colin. I'm really enjoying this section of the book a lot. There's definitely a lot that needs fixing, especially in the last 2 chapters, well, today's 2 chapters. Yesterday was more like the scenes need to be fleshed out, need some description, that sort of thing. Today, the 2 chapters were like, I don't know, some of this needs a little more rewriting, and maybe some character work. Some of the Colin stuff was like, this is not how this man would act. Anyway, there needs more, but I'm really enjoying it. I can't breathe. Hold on. Not from reading. I actually just carried some laundry upstairs, and that is why I'm out of breath. Anyway, yeah, no, the story's progressing really nicely, and I'm enjoying it. Even though it's, you know, not perfect yet, there's still a lot of rewriting that needs done. Do you need something, sir? Anyway, I want to keep reading, but I have some other things, you know, that I need to do. But I might do some more reading later tonight. I'm really enjoying Cassie's perspective. Which means I have so much work to do, because I want not Cassie, the other one. I want Cindy to be an enjoyable read. And this is Cindy's book, and I want it to be about Cindy. Nugget, that's my arm. Anyway, I don't know how I'm going to pull this off, you guys, because Cassie is, like, so effortless in writing her, but also, like, reading it. You're just like, this is amazing. Cindy is not that. It's not effortless to write, and certainly not to read. I don't know how I'm going to do this. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know. I'm getting ideas. I have, like, snippets of inspiration as I've been reading through Cassie's chapters, funnily enough. I'm getting ideas for what I want to do with Cindy to liven things up a little bit. The problem is that they are very different people, but I want Cindy to be an enjoyable perspective to read, even though she is vastly different from Cassie, and not just be boring, you know? I don't want to bore people so much that they don't read book 3. wow. Anyway, the last 3 chapters have been lovely. Which just makes it so much worse that all the Cindy stuff, not all the Cindy stuff, but the beginning of Cindy was so boring. I think I need to change it a lot more from the original book. Sorry, original book fans. Yeah, my snippets of inspiration have a lot to do with different scenes and removing some of the opening stuff. So it's not boring. But we're not doing that yet. We're still reading. We're only on chapter 11 of 25. So we haven't done the read-through. So we're still reading. And then we'll deal with that when we get there, which will probably be realistically like April. By the time I actually finish the read-through and then like make a plan. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, made the mistake of moving today with with my littles, with my niece and nephew. We all did yoga together, which was highly entertaining. My niece thought it was boring, and my nephew just kept falling over, and the whole thing was just hilarious. But it did make it less, restful, less mindful, less like I'm actually present and experiencing this, you know, very distracting. Anyway, and then after that I did read a chapter, the last Cassie chapter, and now we're back to Cindy again, which hopefully will be okay. I think the further I got into the book, the more interesting Cindy became. We'll find out. But, I don't know. I don't know that I'm actually going to read more today. Kitten, please don't eat the camera. I'm using that. Ma'am. That is not a toy. Stop it! Stop chewing on it. She's chewing on this. Yeah. She's chewing on this. Because it hangs down. Yeah. I guess the point is I did it, but it was the least engaged I was all week. And also the most pain I was in. Like, my goodness, I could not do the stretches. My thighs were killing me. I think... Don't walk on that. Don't type on that. Anyway, I think... What do I think? I lost my train of thought when she walked across the keyboard. And I saw the life of my book just flash before my eyes. No. What was I saying? I don't have any brain power today, you guys. I was talking about the pain. Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is what I was gonna say. I think the further into this week we go, the more I'm accurately doing the stretches, and therefore my body is protesting because it's like, oh, that's actually using muscles. Ouch. Whereas, like, on Monday I was so stiff, I was not really doing the yoga poses. My body could not stretch. I was so stiff. So it's kind of like the difference of doing like a push-up versus like a pretend push-up, you know, when you're on your knees and like your arms are going up and down, but like how much is that actually helping? Anyway, so I feel like the further into this week I go, the more I'm regaining flexibility, and therefore actually doing the poses, and then my goodness, my thighs were on fire. I still didn't get all the way through the video, so the yoga thing that I'm doing is a recording of a prickle that we did years ago. Let me pull it up. It's about an hour long, slightly less, because we chit-chat at the beginning. It starts around 7 minutes, so that's where I've been starting. And I only got to 37 today, so 30 minutes in. Which is about where I was yesterday as well. I got a little further yesterday. But I've never made it all the way into this hour-long prickle. Never done. I mean, I probably did some other time. This week specifically, I haven't gone all the way through it. But I keep going, like a little bit further until today, where I broke that because chaos and children. And so I just like stopped where I basically did yesterday. But every other day I was going like a few minutes further into, getting one more pose in before I was like, whew, I'm done. So I'm hoping at some point I'll get all the way through it, and I'll feel good about it. But we only have one more day. We just have tomorrow. This is like almost all filled up. I put chaotic kids as today's note because this, but also very much back to Wednesday was like, I'm alert, but my thighs hurt. I've also been rearranging my room a tiny bit. And this, I don't know that I showed this a lot on camera, so maybe it won't, oh hi, maybe it won't make a huge difference, for y'all, but the bed was previously right here, and so sitting here, this could not be turned this direction, it had to go this way, because the bed was literally right here, and would come out to here-ish. Anyway, it was really tight over here, and I was very stressed about it, anyway, so this just like opened up this corner where I feel like I can sit here and I can breathe and I can be creative over here. And then I started moving things with shelves. Oh, hold on. You can't have her food. You already had yours. Anyway, I started moving things with shelves. So this was stacked with various books and things, which I have moved it's a stack of books that I'm like currently reading. Anyway, so that's what that is. And also some borrowed books that I'm currently reading. Anyway, that's off of my shelf, which cleared up my brain as well. And then moved something off of this shelf so I could move all of these books were standing like on their side right here on this kid's shelf. And now they're up there. And both of those shelves looking crisp and cleaned up my brain as well. And then I moved the cat bed, which was right in front of here, over there, because there's way too much stuff happening here. I want to move more of this. There's way too much happening. My brain is exploding. Also, I have like too much. I need another bookshelf. Anyway, but just those little tiny cleaning up on those 3 shelves and then opening up the space over here. I just feel so much better about all of this. So, I'm hoping that will also help with like being creative and doing the challenge and all the things. Next week is patience. Get excited. Anyway, I think it's along with movement and fueling my brain in that way. I think creating a space where my brain just feels safer and happier and more willing to be present and creative will also be helpful. We started the week on chapter 5, and now we're on chapter 13. After not doing any storyness at all in January, having a week, 6 days in a row of reading my story is very impressive. So far I think the Get Grounded challenge has been absolutely successful. I just work better with a challenge, you guys. I don't know what it is about me and my relationship to accountability. But I do better writing with a challenge, which is how I got so obsessed with NaNoWriMo all those years ago. Anyway, yeah, I feel good about it. The movement was good, and I'm going to keep doing the movement even in the next, weeks, because it was really helping me just, like, having a better mental, emotional whateverness, moving into the rest of my day. So I'm definitely going to keep that. And hopefully keep reading every day, honestly. We're starting chapter 13, I don't know, tomorrow, whenever it is I sit down next. Which is we're halfway through the book now. I feel pretty good about that. I did, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I did 8 chapters this week. Yeah, so I won't finish the book next week, but in the next 2 weeks I should be able to finish reading it, and then finally make a plan for how to edit. That feels pretty good. I'm satisfied with this.